Hey coders, welcome back to your channel. Today we are diving into LeetCode problem number 486 by the name of Predict the Winner. It's a classic game theory challenge where two players pick numbers from either end of an array and yes, both play optimally. Your job, predict whether player 1 can win or not. This problem is all about strategy, recursion and dynamic programming. So, if you're ready to level up your coding skills and think like a pro gamer, so let's get right into it. Here you can see it, we come on number 486 question by the name of Predict the Winner. So, let's first of all understand the questions, we understand the question carefully as, then we'll be solving the LeetCode camp website. So, anyways, so let's start. Now, it is giving you our integer array by the name of nums, means that LeetCode in this LeetCode camp solution, we use the one integer array by the name of nums. It has been given me and two players are playing, means there are two players who are playing a game with this array, player 1 and player 2. Player 1 and player 2 takes turns with player 1 starting first. Both players start the game with a score of 0. At each turn the player takes one of the numbers from either end of the array, for example num square bracket 0 or num square bracket nums dot length minus 1, which reduces the size of the array by 1, and the player adds the chosen number to their score. Now, the game ends when there are no more elements in the array, means that the game will be end when there is not any array will be available. Now, our tasks, what is our task in today's video? Let me explain you. Our task is we want to return true if player 1 can win the game, means if player 1 can win the game, so we can return true. If the scores both players are equal, then player 1 is still winner. Okay, means if player 1 and player 2 scores are scores are equal, but player 1 will be still win the game winner. Okay, and you should also return true. You may assume, we want to assume that both players are playing optimally, means we can assume that both players are playing optimally. Now, there are two cases which have been given me with an explanation. So, now let's read it. So, first of all, here he created one integer array by the name of nums in which he wrote it down 152 and the output has been coming false. Why? Because internally player 1 can choose between 1 and 2. If he choose 2 or 1, then player 2 can choose from 1 or 2 and 5. If player 2 choose 5, then player 1 will be left with 1 or 2. So, final score of player is 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2 equals to 3 and 2 and player 2 is 5. So, hence player 1 will never be the winner and you need to return false, means that the player 1 has scored 3 and player 2 has scored 5. So, who will be win? Player 1 or player 2? Player 2, so that's why here we print output false. Now, in the case 2, they printed true output. Why? Because here he created an integer array by the name of nums in which he wrote it down 1, 5, 2, 3, 3, then 7. And the output has been coming true. Why? Because player 1 chooses 1. Then player 2 chooses between 5 and 7. No matter which number player 2 choose, because player 1 has choose 233. Finally, player 1 has more score. Player 1 has 234 and then player 2 and then player 2 has 12. So, you need to return true because representing player 1 can win, because player 1 has 234 score and player 2 has scored 12. So, it is obviously the player 1 will be winner because it has been higher score than player 2. So, that's why we return true, because it is representing player 1 can win. So, here you can say easily we can do this. These are very easy questions, I think so. Probably we want to predict only the winner, and these are the constraints which you use to solve this question. Now, let's try to solve this question. So, we are solving this question in the LeetCode camp, okay, and there's a 486 question and there's a medium one question which we are solving in today's video, and you will be also see the topic is about array, math, dynamic programming, recursion and game theory. There are 5 topics this question is on about 5 topics, okay. Here it has been mentioned it. And let's say summation 4,66,000 people have submitted this and only 2,59,000 accepted, and acceptance rate is 55.6%. Now, anyways, let's start to solve this question. So now we are solving this question in the Python 3, and first of all we define a class of a solution, because it's a rule of a LeetCode camp. Because whenever we start to solve any question in the LeetCode camp, so first of all we define a class of a solution. Now class solution, and I'm also starting a timer. Now let's start. First of all, we define a class of a solution def keyword, and this also be rule. We define a def keyword. So here I define a predict the winner. This is our topic. Predict the winner. Self comma now semicolon list int bool means boolean semicolon enter. Catchy. Now def keyword one more time, dfs. Now here we define here I semicolon int means integer j int then minus greater than int semicolon enter. If statement I greater than j semicolon enter. We want to return here 0. Return max num I dfs I plus 1 comma j nums j minus dfs I comma j minus 1 enter back enter. Then here I print one more output dfs 0. Now here I am finding the length of our nums integer array minus 1 0. Now here I have written my all the code. So here I define a one comment. If you see this answer with explanation, so visit my channel by the name of Rayyan. Now subscribe to Rayyan. So let's see them now. Now let's see the running code. Our answer is correct or not. So when I run this code, so I hope it will be correct. So now when I run this code, so the running code is accepted. So a case when our expected output is false and my also output has been coming false. In the case to expected output is true and my also output has been coming true. So now let's see the submitting code. Our submitting code is correct or not. And this video will be smaller, little bit smaller, because the answer is very smaller. So that's why. Let's see the submitting code. So when I submit this code, the submission code is also be correct. Here you can see it. We beat 100%, means I beat 100% people. I come on the top of the solving. Here you can see it. And I solve in the 0 milliseconds. So I'm also sharing this solution. So then you will be also becoming the 100% beat. Easy solution in Python 3. Visit for explanation and solution understanding. Visit Rayyan YouTube channel. Perfect. For explanation and solution, here you remove and write here this end. Perfect. And now you can also be bolded. Now perfect. Let's post this. So I'm posting this. So here in today's video we solve 486 questions by the name of predict the winner. So if you enjoy this video, so like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to all the notification bell also. So if you want to visit my profile, so you can also visit my profile. My profile name is Rayyan, so you can go and view my profile also. But anyways, let's meet you in the next class and next very amazing class like that type of videos. So now for today, goodbye.